For Catholics, the cemetery is a place of peace and rest for our beloved dead, as we share in the hope of the resurrection to new life. Unfortunately, the beginnings of this little cemetery in Colfax County, Nebraska, seems to have been marked with contention. I'm at the small Dry Creek Cemetery in Colfax County in Nebraska, about 4 miles south of Holy Trinity at Hine. Dry Creek Cemetery was established in 1876 on land donated by a non-Catholic Czech settler, John Kovar. Members of the Cemetery Association were Catholic and non-Catholic alike. But within just a few years, divisions began to arise with differences in religion. After a Catholic church was built here in 1881, the Catholics who had a majority on the cemetery board decided that all non-members of the church would also lose membership in the Cemetery Association. And this meant that even the landowner, John Kovar, he lost his membership in the cemetery. Thus, he's buried down at the Schuyler Cemetery rather than here. And this is the first story of conflict at this location. Before any Catholic church was built here, a Franciscan priest would come up from the monastery in Columbus to attend to the Catholics at Holy Trinity at Hine once a month, and occasionally stop here at Dry Creek. Father Cyril Augustinski reported in 1880 that the Dry Creek community had 40 families, and a church was to be built that spring. As of July 1st, 1881, though, it appears that the cornerstone had not yet been laid, as Father Cyril wrote the following to Bishop O'Connor. The Catholics living in Dry Creek, Colfax County, intend to build their own church about 4 miles from Holy Trinity Church in Maple Creek. They claim to have permission from your grace, communicated through the Reverend Wenceslaus Kocharnik. They also have on hand the lumber and other things necessary for building. On the 6th Sunday after Easter, when I celebrated Mass there, they asked me to get some priest for laying the cornerstone soon. Since March 25th of the past year, when I received a letter from your grace, I do not know the state of affairs regarding this edifice in Dry Creek, and I humbly ask your Excellency, what is your decision on this matter? From this letter, it appears that Father Cyril was unsure whether or not the Catholics at Dry Creek had received permission to build their church. A line from Father Henry Casper's History of the Catholic Church in Nebraska affirms that such permission was not obtained. The people at Dry Creek had undertaken to erect a church structure without in any way consulting the wishes of the bishop. Despite this, their church was indeed built, dedicated to the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And this is the second story of unrest here. A third story comes not 3 years later in 1884. Bishop O'Connor had noticed a defiant attitude among some rural communities under his charge. He therefore issued a directive to his priests concerning the administration of church properties. The pastor to apply these orders at Dry Creek was Jesuit Father Francis B. Pold, who was attending Dry Creek from Holy Trinity at Hine. Father Casper again tells the story. Considerable opposition flared when Pold named 2 lay trustees. Several articulate members of the congregation contended that the right of lay appointment lay with the people. Father Pold met the opposition head-on. In no uncertain terms, the congregation at Dry Creek was instructed that they would learn to recognize the authority, first, of the statutes in question, and second, of the bishop himself. Indeed, Father Pold went so far as to advise the people of Dry Creek that his services were not required, since it was only 4 miles from Hine, where Holy Trinity Church had been built in 1878, they could easily attend services there. I wish I had more positive stories to tell from Dry Creek, but these are the only accounts that I was able to find. It's likely that this dissension was only the attitude of a loud minority, rather than being shared by all members of Assumption Church. Dry Creek continued to be served from Holy Trinity Hine for the remainder of its 47 years of existence. Assumption Church at Dry Creek was closed in 1928, and the church building itself has long ceased to be.
You can take me high